Girl Scout cadets. Today we will be earning your new Cuisines badge. We're going to be looking at 4 different types of foods. Foods from a different region of the US, a food from a different place in the world, a food from a different time period of the US, and finally a food for a food allergy. So let's jump right into it. When you think of culturally diverse foods, what do you think of? Do you think of tacos or Thai food, curry? There's a lot of different options to think of, and today we're going to focus on making some of those. First, here are some instructions on how to use the slideshow. The slideshow today is going to be a lot of videos of me showing you how to cook, so make sure to click on a lot of links. You're going to want to see those. So here are the ingredients we're going to need. How this is going to work today is I'm going to actually show you how to make a different meal or different entree through each step, and you can follow along with me or you can pick your own meal to make. So these are ingredients that I hope you'll have in your home. If not, you can do some substitutions that I'll talk about later, or you can pick your own recipes entirely. So we're going to first start by making a dish from another country. Then we're going to create a dish from another region of the United States, whip up a dish from another time period, cook a dish that makes a statement, and then share our dishes at the end. The badge overview, I already said that I'm going to walk through how to make each dish, and then here's what I'm going to be making today. So for the appetizer, I'm going to be making corn fritters. My main is going to be rice. My side is going to be egg drop soup. My dessert is going to be the early Girl Scout cookie recipe. My foods today are very simple and not very complicated because I wanted to make sure that you had ingredients that you could use in your own home. Here's what we're going to be making as our dish from another country: egg drop soup. So I very much encourage you to still look up different recipes from other countries, see where foods come from. There's probably a food that you eat every single day that doesn't come from the US and you didn't know about it. And then, of course, you can choose your own recipe, but this is a very easy recipe to make. So here is the link here in blue to create egg drop soup. It will be a video of me showing you how to make it. And here's all you're going to need. You're just going to need chicken broth and eggs. It's super simple. And just for a little bit of history, egg drop soup is a traditional Chinese soup. It's pretty much just egg in broth, and it is translated from Chinese to egg flour soup. So sometimes it's called that as well. I picked egg drop soup today because it is one of my favorite dishes to have whenever I go out to eat at Chinese restaurants. And also all of my foods here are tweaked to be gluten-free, as you'll see in my videos, because I am gluten-free, so I like to tweak my meals to not contain gluten. So egg drop soup naturally doesn't contain gluten, and it is a great soup that will be very easy for you to make, and you could probably make it all the time for the rest of your life. I know I just learned to make this soup, and I'm going to be making it all the time. So now we're going to move on to step 2. I'm going really fast. Make sure you click on the links because that's where all of the explanation will be. So we're going to create a dish from another region. I picked corn fritters because they're from the South, and I know that Southern food is very specific and has a very distinct type of food that is enjoyed down there and is popular down in the South. So that's why I picked corn fritters. And remember to research more popular foods from the South as well. There's a lot of foods down there, and there'll be a lot to choose from. So here are the ingredients and the instructions. There's a lot of ingredients, but it should be pretty simple things that everyone has in their house. Again, click on the blue link for a video. They ended up turning out pretty good. Here actually are the corn fritters that I made in my videos you'll be watching. They turned out pretty good. I also forgot to show you the egg drop soup. So here's the egg drop soup that you will be making. Looks really tasty. I put it in a to-go cup that you would get if you went to a Chinese restaurant. So it looks almost professionally made at a restaurant. So that should be really exciting to make. Then just moving right along to step 3. This should be a pretty fun easy badge to get, especially since we have all the foods laid out of what we're going to make. Make sure that you do research some details about each one of the dishes, and I have some information on my slides and on my more detailed videos as well. So these were an original Girl Scout cookie recipe, and we're going to look at some details about cookies in the past, and we're going to make this super easy, super fun cookie. So in the 1920s and 30s, Girl Scouts would bake their own simple sugar cookies with their mothers. They were then packaged in wax paper and sealed with a sticker. Now this is the crazy part. They were sold door to door for 25 to 35 cents per dozen. So that's definitely a lot cheaper than the cookies we sell now. It was estimated that 7 dozen cookies would cost 25 cents to make. So there would be quite a profit back in the day for these cookies, so it ended up turning out pretty well. These are actually the cookies we're going to be making today. A little bit later, in late 1930s, there was a recipe that was widely spread so that most of the cookies could be very similar and uniform. And this is the recipe that was spread to most Girl Scouts. So these are the cookies we'll be making today. Here's what they look like. I happen to have a cookie cutter that I used, but you don't have to have a cookie cutter. They're really great. You can make them thin or thick. They're very, very simple. So if you want to decorate them with frosting, go right ahead. And make sure you click on the blue link, and I'll walk you through step to step on how to make these cookies. You can also research more about Girl Scout cookies back in the day and read. There's a lot of information out there about what the first few cookies were and just the changes that were made. It's super interesting. So now we're going to cook a dish that makes a statement. I'll explain more about this dish in my video. I actually explain a lot about it, because when you think of a dish that makes a statement, rice isn't really the dish that pops out. But for me, it makes a statement in my life being gluten-free. Rice is one of my staple foods. Food allergies are very common, and a lot of people have to cope with their allergies by finding food substitutes or foods that they can eat. So we're going to make white rice. It's a very simple recipe. I'm sure a lot of you have made it or had parents that made it. It's also a great base, so you can add chicken or any other foods to it that you may want to include in your meal for your family. Here is just the rice that I made. So it's super easy. And then make sure to click on the link and I'll show you how to make it, and most importantly, I'll explain why it's a staple for me in my gluten-free diet. So there we are. That was a super simple badge. It is a very exciting badge to go through, and you learn a lot about different cultures and different foods that everyone eats. And then my favorite part is step 5, where you get to share your meal. So since most of us are stuck in our house, make sure to share this meal with your family. I hope that you're able to find these recipes and cook these recipes pretty simply. If you have substitutions, make sure to watch my videos. There's a few substitutions you can make if you don't have exactly what you need. Make sure that if you pick your own meal, you're thinking of a few things. You're thinking of what ingredients you're going to need, and if you have them in your house, what tools you're going to need. There's a few things that I use. They're very simple, but if you make something more complicated, you might need a different tool. And then what cooking techniques you're going to use and how you're going to learn those. So I made YouTube videos for all of you so that you can learn some techniques, but you might need to look at other YouTube videos if you're going to make something else. And then you might want to adjust some ingredients to be more healthy, or if you have an allergy, like I adjusted all of my ingredients. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and once you do all those steps, congratulations, you've earned your new Cuisines badge. Let us know what you make. Please share your pictures with us. We'd love to post it on our Facebook and see what our girls are doing out there. Congratulations, Cadettes.